Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill. That is the Coffee Company. Here we are joined by my brother, Mr. Brian Dagul. How are you today, sir? How are you today?
I'm good, brother. I just spent an hour with you before. I'm about to spend an hour with you again, and then I'm going to spend some more time with you doing a recording today. So, so I'm having the trilogy with you today, and any time spent with you, mate, is always a good place.
Always great. We might even do the quadruple if we do that.
Oh, we could do.
We could do the quadruple, which is something Tottenham haven't done ever. So the Tottenham on Tour quadruple is on. We are here. We are there. Let's see who's in the chat today. Before, I'd like to thank everyone for getting us to 310 subscribers. Yes, possibly we should be on more. But a massive thank you to everyone that's helped us out, from Brian to Sean's had me on recently. Perchy has done work recently getting my subs up. So big up to the Perch man himself, Mr. Sava, and to everyone. The Free Spurs boys, can't forget Bobby K and Coos. Everyone that has helped us along the way. And let's thank some of those members that have made that possible. We have Mr. Stew Boy. Hello, sir. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully you're well. Good afternoon, Ben, Brian, and everyone in chat. Good afternoon, Stew Boy. Good afternoon. We have Mr. Mark Cousins, the sheriff. The sheriff is in the house. So, as of course, we have to preface. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I think I deleted it. Oh, well. I don't know where it is. Not to worry. No catfish allowed. Oh, no, it's here. It's here. No catfish allowed. It's flashing on the screen. Big up, Sheriff. Hopefully you're well. Mr. Jason Bell. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hopefully you're doing great. We have Mr. Tom. Hey, well, big up, Tomo. Hopefully you're well. Need to go and see you again, my friend. Look forward to seeing you anyway. We have Jose. El Coffee. Big up, Jose. Hopefully you're doing great. Yeah, so we're just going to have a nice time. Just do what we usually do, myself and Brian. We just chat about nonsense. But
we can do that. We're fluent in that.
We're absolutely fluent in nonsense, BS, and all that great stuff. But what's been happening, Brian?
Nothing much, mate. Nothing much. Just plodding along as we do. I'm on the countdown. It's 105 days till I go back to Toronto. Not that I'm counting. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Cannot wait to get back. But, yeah, apart from that, mate, not much. Not much.
I haven't really spoken to you fully since I was in America, but it's just like, it's weird. I'm just like, I want to go to Canada again this year after being in the US. And after being in the US, I know it's not the greatest part of the US, and people do look down on the state of Florida. It's just like, I loved Canada so much. Whenever I talk about America now, I have to compare it to Canada, and I love Canada. Canada's amazing. Like, some of the things, of course, it has some of the same problems that the United States has, like not putting VAT on the bloody prices is stupid. I hate that. I vehemently hate that.
Yeah.
What is the point? If you have your state tax and you know what your state tax is, you can put it on your products. Why do you have to have no? So you worked out, I think I'm going to be paying this, and you prepare your money, and it's actually $5. What?
But mate, I have to say, still to this day, if I go shopping in clothes shops or wherever I go, if I'm not with Ilana, I just look at it and say, that's the price. It gets me every single time. It is one of the biggest annoyance that I've known. It really is quite frustrating. But when you come from here, listen, if you live in America or you live in Canada, you know no different.
Yeah.
You know no different. So when you come here, you're like, oh my God, the price is the price. They probably look at things when they come over and go, okay, that says it's £25, which must mean it's about £32. Then they go up and it's like, it must be like, whoa, this is so weird. It must be
so confusing, like, especially if you go to like Italy and they say a coffee's €1. And I think, do you mean it's like €2 because of tax? No, it's €1.
Yeah.
That's how much it costs. It boggles my mind. But there are certain things that the North Americans do. For example, pickle crisps, the sweet pickle lays. They are unbeatable. Ruffles all dressed. Hello, Lee Smith. Hello. I've never seen you in
Big up,
chat.
Lee.
Hello. Look, nice to meet you. Lovely to see you in chat. There are certain things that the North Americans do amazing, like peanut butter M&Ms.
Mate, M&M's out there is like a different world to what you see
They
here.
are so much better.
It's a different world. There are so many different flavors of M&Ms over there. When I first came back to England from Canada with Ilana, and we're coming back from my grandma's stone setting. I can't remember. I think my sister had just had Joseph or Levi. Just had Levi, and she couldn't eat during the pregnancy, like because she got diabetes through the pregnancy. And she couldn't eat all this. She always said like, right, what she loves M&Ms. I brought her back hazelnut, pretzel, mint, you name it. She went mad with these M&Ms. It's incredible.
They are amazing. There is one thing they don't do well. Skittles, the sour Skittles. I'm a big fan of the sour Skittles. In North America, they are too sour. They are they're inedible. They are so sour. And they're covered in sugar as well.
That's North America for you.
They're double sickly. But what's your favourite thing in North American, Bri?
What is my favourite thing? Everything. My wife would be number one.
Oh, that goes without saying, Brian. We're talking confectionery and food here, sir.
Then it's a tie between Niagara Falls and the Scotland Yard. My God, I miss that pub. Now, listen, people will know it's been 5 years. It'll be 6 years this December that I moved out there, and they're 5 of the most happiest years of my life. Yeah. I've been having this talk with Ryan Isaacs because he's like, he's getting fed up of living. A lot of people with this cost of living are finding it hard in this country. And I'll tell you what, my life in Canada, I wouldn't exchange it for a millionaire's life here. I really wouldn't. I love my life in Canada. I love the way of life in Toronto. I love the people. There's nothing here apart from Tottenham Hotspur and all the family and friends. Yeah. But when you talk about an actual city there is no better place. No better place. It's very hard for me right now, and you know how homesick I've been recently.
Yeah, you have been.
It's very hard for me to say what's my favourite thing. It's so many.
Yes, Stuart. Coffee is an espresso. A single espresso is €1, and a cappuccino is €1.50. Actually, that is the standard.
I'll tell you something I do love doing, Ben, and I did it with you when you came to Toronto. When I came to meet you at your station to then get the train back to the Scotland Yard, is taking that exit from Union Station where you walk up and you've got the CN Tower right in front of you.
Yeah, that's great.
It's one of the greatest. It's like walking up the Wembley stairs to pick up a trophy. Yeah. You just walk up and you boom, CN Tower. Yeah. It's 5 years ago or 4 years ago today. My parents came out to see me in Canada for the first time. Yeah. It's just a wonderful place.
I do like Union Station. I want to do that at some point. I might do it next year. I want to do the sleeper train from Union Station to Vancouver. It's a 3-day sleeper train.
Mate, I'll come with you. I really want to do that as well. I'll come with you.
That would be an adventure of a lifetime because I want to go to Vancouver next year. And it was even more accelerated by I went on the Canada ride at Disney. And I was like, I missed Canada. There were two things at Disney that made me miss Canada. One of which is the soaring ride at Epcot. Epcot does love Canada, and you fly over Niagara Falls, and you see exactly where we stood. Us three, me, you, and Bobby Kay. And I'm like, I stood there. I was there. And then, of course, there is a 25 to 30 minute movie. No, it's not 20. It's about 15, 20 minute movie in the Canada section. And it almost had me tearing up how much I missed Canada because I loved Canada. If you've not seen the Canada movie at Epcot, you can watch it on YouTube. It's epic. It's so good. My brother was in tears, and he's never been to Canada before, but. The Kaufmans will be in Canada at some point, all 5 of us. But it's interesting to see how much they love their country because, like, of course, everyone that works at the Canada section, I'm calling it Canada section, everyone that works at Canada in Epcot all want to go back to Canada, but they're getting paid really well to be at Disney. And they're getting to talk about the country they like. So
I have to say one thing, Ben. You have to time this trip right, where we've got some difficult fixtures. because you've got a 100% record at the Scotland Yard. So hopefully you can keep
Yes,
that going.
100% record at the Scotland Yard. They should be paying for my ticket back when Arsenal play there. When we play there next, that's in November, isn't it? We play Arsenal.
September.
Is it September? That's madness.
I'm still here. It'll be the last game before I go home. Oh no, Liverpool is Liverpool.
It's a total madness. Mark is saying I want to go to Canada for ice fishing. That would send you down to the ground.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like Canada is just majestically beautiful. It just is. It's one of those countries that are. It's so vast, but go look at videos of Banff National Park.
Yeah.
Go look at, and I know a lot of people started speaking about it because there was this show on BBC One called The Great Race or something.
Yeah.
Well, they do that in Canada called The Amazing Race, and they do fly over to other countries as well. But obviously, they choose the most serene, picturesque places. But if you want to see more about Canada, just go try and find The Amazing Race Canada on IPTV
or you can watch the Disney ride at Epcot.
Well, that
it's like you'd have to find the new one though, because you can find the old one and the new one, but the new one I think is slightly better. Same sort of thing. It's a 3D cinema thing, but it's just excellent. They go through all the regions, what the nice spots in they go through everything from Quebec to the north. They go through the entire country. It's amazing. But when they flew over Toronto in the cat, I was like, the Scotland Yard is there. I can see it.
You know where it is. You know where it is. It's one of the first places I go to when I get back. First place I go to.
Yeah.
Or second place after Popeyes.
Yeah. Stuart said, I want to go to Italy for a coffee. Italy, it's not the greatest coffee. If you go to Italy, I'll give you some pointers. Favorite snack from Canada?
Oh my God. Okay, so all dressed is right up there.
Yeah.
There's you got to remember that one of the things I learned in Canada is that the weirdest combinations work.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Wendy's and you get a chocolate frosty and you dip your French fries in it.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. There was a popcorn that Ilana bought. I can't remember which company, but it's called Chicago popcorn. But what it is, it's cheese and caramel popcorn.
They do
you've got salted and sweet together.
Salt and sweet.
My God, it's one of the greatest things.
In North America, there is no sweet popcorn at all.
Yeah,
there's none, and sweet popcorn's the best.
I feel the same, and I love my salt, but I prefer sweet popcorn. But sweet and salted is very good. My God, I would never have put maple syrup on chicken or bacon now.
It works.
Now, my God, there are so many different
savouriness of it.
Yeah, there are so many different combinations. Mark saying you want to go to a Blue Jay game. Mark, I'll get your tickets, no problem. But I won't be joining you. Blue Jay, oh my God, it was the most boring. I must admit, I went to the Blue Jays game literally straight after we beat Norwich 5-0 to get Champions League.
Yeah.
So I left the Scotland Yard and end of season party to walk across Union Station to get to the Sky Dome and watch it. And I've never been so bored in my life. I will not. It's no. I've done it. I've seen it enough.
It is a bit boring, isn't it?
Oh
it is a tiny bit boring.
Oh, and I got a few bad looks because I went there and they pump a load of music through, and sometimes a guy on the keyboard, but there's a guy on the drum that did this. And I screamed at the top of my voice, and the looks I got afterwards, thinking like, "What the fuck?" So I got looks there. Then they played a song that I can't remember which one it was, but they played the tune, which would have been an anti-Arsenal song.
Oh God!
And I started singing that, and people looked at me like, and Ilana's like, "Okay, move away, move on." Yeah, it's just so.
The problem is, it's imprinted in your psyche.
Yeah, I can't help it.
You can't help it.
So it gets to the point where it was just so. Oh, it's just so dull. I just can't.
I've seen a Boston Red Sox game, which was interesting. I liked the idea of being at a ballpark, but I don't like the game really. I need to go and see an American football game in the States. Because I'm not going to go and watch it. I'm not going to watch it at Tottenham. I'm not going to watch it.
Let's to go watch the Saints.
Yeah, I want to see all this. I want to see a hockey. I was going to see a hockey game, but the money was crazy.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's
the money is crazy. It makes Tottenham look cheap.
So I've been to one hockey game, and it was at the Scotiabank Arena. But what they did is they have every year like a big up, Walshy. They have a exhibition match with You know, like when we have a Ledley King's testimonial, and there's like the super. It was one of those where it was incredible. It was incredible to see them, and they're all showboats and everything. But to get Maple Leaf tickets is nigh on impossible, and they are very, very expensive.
I saw they were like $300 each.
Yeah, and they'll be for the cheap seats.
It's just madness.
It's the demand. You got to remember again, because of the Maple Leafs being the only team.
Yeah,
people will pay to get in there. It's not like here in London or Manchester or up where you've got all these teams where you can go and choose. There's another team, the second team called the Marlies.
Yeah,
which is like I don't understand. I think it's a sister cut or one of those feeder cuts.
Must be like a feeder team in a way.
Or something like that, or the league below, or Toronto's semi-pro team. Big up Graham. But it's easy to get tickets for them, and it's cheap. But if you're going to want to see a hockey game, you're going to want to see the Maple Leafs, aren't you?
Yeah, you want to see the big dogs. Big up Tessa. Big up Terry.
My brother Terry Wright. Big up my man.
Big up. Hopefully you're well. Everyone in chat, seeing as you've got many people from the UK and many people, what would you do if you went to North America? You can go to either country, whatever you want to do. What would you do? What's your favourite snacks? What's your favourite things? What do you want to do? We know the sheriff wants to go fishing, but he also wants to go and see the Yankees. My team is the Yankees glory hunter because my football team wins nothing. But I don't think, are the Yankees actually any good anymore?
The Yankees are good. They're not up there right now, but they're the huge. If anyone says name whenever I even downloaded a base. This is how bad it was. I downloaded a baseball game just before, and it wasn't one of the major ones. One where you just try and hit it, and it weren't it was about a week before I was moving to Toronto, and I picked the New York Yankees to be my team automatically because it was the first team that I thought of. And I was like, "How have you not put Toronto?" I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." So I had the Yankees will be like back in the day where the Raiders, everyone wore Raiders stuff for NFL because they loved the logo. The Yankees are just they're
an iconic brand. They are iconic. That's exactly what people wear Yankees that have never seen a baseball game or have never thought of seeing that. That is how, just because the logo looks so good. Yep,
but the best thing, I keep forgetting, when you were saying about going to North America, I can't wait to be in Toronto in 2020 and be in a World Cup city. Listen, I've been around the Euro 96 when the Euros were here. We got semi-finals. I wasn't here for the last Euros because obviously COVID. But
that was an amazing thing to be in a country where apart from being at the final, which was utterly sucked in the end.
Yeah,
but
to be for Toronto, for the country of Canada to be hosting the World Cup, and me to be living in a host city is just going to be. If I'm not at games, I'll be at the Scotland Yard, which is going to it's just going to be an incredible summer. It can't come soon enough.
We're definitely going to be going. It's not that we can have any players in that team because we suck, but
Alfie Devine,
and hopefully Alex Scott. I'd love to see Alex Scott. But that's going to be incredible. I mean, Toronto's going to be buzzing for that. I mean, Toronto was already buzzing with the coffee shops, the restaurants, the nightlife. I saw plenty of those, and I couldn't get into any of them. It's going to be absolutely buzzing.
I mean, so like I said again, it's just an incredible city. When you talk about the nightlife, I've lived there for 5 years. I don't know the name of a single nightclub. Haven't even been to. Obviously, we're not drinking or whatever. It's not my bag anymore.
Not a cup of tea.
But the nightlife, Toronto at night is incredible. It's just going to be an incredible moment for Canada.
Great stuff. Biden visiting friends in Saskatoon next year at some point will be my first time out that part of the world. Well, it's going to be great, Tom. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely
you're going to need a few days in Toronto. You're going to need to, if it's during a home game if it's during a Spurs weekend, mate, fly to Toronto and come to the Scotland Yard for a game.
And hopefully you're blessed with my good luck of never losing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't mind the golf either. But you got to go to Florida for golf. Florida is the golf. That is the place you go for golf.
There's actually there is a great golf course. You flew over it when you're landing into Pearson, which is quite about half-hour drive from me. Golf is quite big in Canada, not as big as the States for obvious reasons, but
they've got the weather.
Yeah,
they are really. They've got loads of golf courses, and most of Florida is a golf course. Most bloody what do you call them? Most people live on like estates in like gated estates,
gated communities.
Yeah, they've all got golf courses.
Yeah,
all of them have golf courses because that's what they do. But it's another level in Florida.
Correct.
Yeah. Which it's fine if you. I don't like golf. I've never done it in my life. I've done top golf and I suck at it.
So two funny things about golf. Well, first of all, I don't really like the sport, but I was obsessed, and I do mean obsessed. And I got loads of mates obsessed on the PlayStation with Tiger Woods golf.
Yeah,
especially 2005 was the best version ever. It is one of the most highly addictive games you'd ever play. I don't know how to play golf, but you'll also see coming up this week on We Are Tottenham TV, they're about to release a video, me, Simeon, Ben and Brains, when I played football golf.
Yeah.
And I did.
That's a golf I can get behind.
It was great fun, but I was horrific. It had been so long since I played football. They all got their football boots on. I'm playing in trainers.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to do better than I did. I was absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
But the video will be coming out shortly on We Are Tottenham TV.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Tom is saying I'm useless at golf. We've got Ty in the house. Big up. Lovely to see you, buddy. Great to share a panel with you with Perch. And it's great.
Oh, is that Ty from yesterday? Top man. I've sent him a message. He sent me one back. I'll get back to him. He's a top lad.
Top fella. And great to see you in chat. I need to go to a part of North America that isn't Disney, even though I absolutely adore Disney. And I could talk for hours upon hours about how much I like Disney. And I shouldn't do because I'm a 28-year-old man.
I'm 44, mate, and I love Disney. Well, I'm 44 on Thursday and I love Disney.
Disney is the absolute best. It is that if you ever want to go somewhere where your problems just end at the door, you go to Disney. There are no problems there. Everything's wonderful. And it's just the best place ever.
True. I'm still yet to do it.
Yeah, it's one of my things. If I become a multi-millionaire, I'm taking the Tottenham community to Disney, and I think that would be hilarious.
Let's see who goes on all the rides.
We'd have to go on all the rides.
I would go on it. I am one of the thrill seekers.
That's one of the two things I'm annoyed about. I didn't get to go on the Tron ride because that's got a new silly system. You've got to do a virtual queue and you've got to pay for it sometimes. And I didn't get to go on the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and I'm happy with my trip, but I wasn't going to pay $40 to go on 2 rides. I'm not doing it.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah. And you already pay an admission fee to get in there.
Yeah.
I understand it. These rides are brand new and they're trying to test them. They're making sure they're safe and they're making sure that they're not overwhelmed, because other rides at Disney that got overwhelmed just kept on breaking because of the heat. Because of the
humidity. Course.
So they're making sure these rides work properly before they open them to the public. So I understand it, but need to do it slightly better. But the rest of it's brilliant. Stuart saying I'd love to go back to Disney. I'm 60 later this year. Yes, you do need to go. I can't do those rides. No way. Why can't you do those rides? We like rides.
Mate, I'll tell you what, as we were growing up, me and my sister used to go and stay with my auntie on my dad's side.
Yeah.
And they took us to Margate. And my sister and I think we're about 2.5 years, 3 years apart. I'm older. And growing up, I wouldn't go on the big rides. My sister went on the Mary Rose. That's a boat that goes all the way upside down. And I just wouldn't. I was like, not a chance. Now I will go on absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. Even when you see some of these crazy rides that are going to be in the Far East or rides that are being invented, there's not a ride I wouldn't say no to. I love these things.
I'm not totally a fan of upside down rides because stomach issues and all that.
Yeah.
That's why I like Disney. Disney is all about the ride, and it's more about the story with the ride rather than just the ride itself. And the new Mickey Mouse ride they created, it's a 4D film without 3D glasses. It's utterly incredible.
Really? That sounds interesting.
It's utterly incredible. It's one of the Disney done a lot of trackless rides that go without tracks, and they are impeccably smart. But they've got screens on the walls, they've got bubbles flying places, and obviously they've made a new Mickey Mouse cartoon which you can watch on Disney Plus, which is excellent as well. But it's surrounded this ride. It's a brilliant ride. You can watch this ride on YouTube. It's great, but they're brilliant. All the Disney rides, they are exceptional, especially the 3 new trackless rides, the Ratatouille ride, which they have in Paris as well. They copied the one from Paris to Florida because it's the 3rd most popular ride at Disney now. Again, it's 4D, but you do need glasses for the Ratatouille. I think they'll change that very soon when they do that technology, but it's epic. They've got the Rise of the Resistance and the Mickey Mouse ride. The rides are so smart now and they're so good.
Yeah.
But they're getting there. Mark is saying, is the Jaws ride still at Disney? It was never at. It was at Universal, but they've got rid of it. It went 10 years ago, which is a great shame. But unfortunately, Universal have done the opposite to Disney and made it all about the ride, and then the story and the theme of the ride comes second. The rides are nowhere near as good, and they're not as fun. Graham says, I like any rides. Great stuff. Lee is saying, isn't there going to be a Disney account? No, it's Paramount are opening a theme park. So you will probably expect stuff like Top Gun and the Mummy film, anything that's made by Paramount. Star Trek, I'd love a Star Trek ride. I know you're not totally in with the Star Trek ride, but if there's a Star Trek ride and they can do what Disney have done with they have a ride with the Millennium Falcon, which is another thing you don't like. But if you can do a ride where people fly the Starship Enterprise, there'll be a million people there.
No, I will go. Listen, I will go on if I went there and there's a Star Trek ride, I'll go on the ride. Not enjoying the franchise or watching any of it. It's a ride to me. I'll go on if it's fun, it's fun. Exactly.
But they need to do a Star Trek ride. Would do the calm stuff, but not those mad wild things. Ked can't take it. I get it. Now you're talking. Absolutely. If they can make an interactive Star Trek ride and you fly the Enterprise, I'm there every weekend, ever. Tyre saying, I went to Magic Kingdom, asked for Pocahontas' number. I left with as many trophies as Spurs got in 10 years. Great stuff. A Star Trek's lower decks ride would be fantastic. Anything Star Trek related would be amazing. Make it so. Yeah, but it's I mean, you'll have to come back, Brian, when they open it in 2025. You'll be there at some point.
Yeah, well, put it this way, when I leave here, the next time I plan to be back, unless a catastrophe happens, I mean an almighty catastrophe, will be my nephew's bar mitzvah in 2025. Yeah, I don't plan to come back here. It's time to
it's time to settle back.
It's time to, not just that, because of situations. I've spent a lot of time away from my wife. We haven't been able to do certain things because of COVID. It's about time my wife gets everything she wants, needs, and deserves. If she wants to go on holiday anywhere, we're doing it. And it's all about spending time with her rather than having to come back. So it would take an almighty emergency for me to come back before 2025 after I go.
So no one have an almighty emergency from September onwards.
Try not to. Yeah, that'd be great.
I've dreamt about a ride from Lara Croft, but we won't talk about that. Big omission. I'm a Star Trek geek. There's nothing wrong with being a Star Trek geek. Everyone loves Star Trek. except for Brian, obviously.
Yes, I was about to say,
There's a few people that don't like. I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. Anything space, sci-fi, space.
Spaceballs. Spaceballs is what I will watch.
What about Galaxy Quest? Have you seen Galaxy Quest?
Guardians of the Galaxy. I have.
No, you got to see Galaxy Quest. It's the
best
worst movie ever. I absolutely adore Galaxy Quest. It's so funny. That is the sort of film you would absolutely love.
Talking about films, I couldn't believe it was on Twitter as well, saying I used to watch this with my grandpa regularly. Cannonball Run is 42 years old today.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It's like, I know it's my birthday. I'm getting another year older, but when you think about it, I grew up watching this movie like in my 11, 12. I love Cannonball Run 1 and 2. Two of the funniest movies. It's probably where I got my obsession with Lamborghinis from. I've never driven a car, but if I won the lottery, I'm buying a Lamborghini just to sit outside my house. I'm obsessed with them. But yeah.
Proud to be a Geordie, saying people who like Star Trek and Star Wars are one word.
Why, man? Why?
We're not going to comment on that, but yes, I am a bit of a nerd. But speaking of movies, I mean, how excited are we both for the Moana live action with The Rock? Because they're doing that. That goes without saying. But
yeah, listen, I have to say, when that movie first came out, Ilana always wanted to watch it, and I watch everything The Rock. I fell asleep. The first 3 times we watched it, I fell asleep even before he came on.
Yeah.
That's out. But I've watched it now, and then obviously watching The Rock over COVID do that rap with his daughter.
Yeah.
Which is one of the most endearing, beautiful videos you'll ever see. I now know that rap off by heart. I now have watched that video on a few occasions or movie. And when it comes out live, you better believe that I'll be in the cinema. I'll be in the cinema. My wife will be embarrassed because as soon as I see him, if yes, as loud as I possibly can in the cinema. So she'll enjoy that.
It's going to be great. I mean, I'm not into Disney constantly remaking their old films, which they're doing it because of certain reason, because of trademarking reasons, and they don't want to lose their things. But this is one I approve of it. I approve of it because Moana was such a good film.
Yeah.
And if they can make it with The Rock and make it better, I think they can do it very, very well. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Agreed. Completely, totally, not agreed.
Yeah. Graham doesn't like Star Wars or Star Trek.
Well done, Graham.
I love them both. I'd be interested with this Paramount whether they start, because it was rumored they're doing a deal with Aardman and going to do some Wallace and Gromit stuff. They need to do stuff like that. Who made the Dad's Army film? Who made the Dad's Army film, even though it sucked? Who made it? We're Googling it.
You Google it.
It was made by DJ Films, and who was it? Universal. So no, they're not, unless they do a deal with Paramount. But it'd be an interesting one. What would you, if you could make rights of British content? It's got to be Paramount, unfortunately, because otherwise it wouldn't be realistic. What would you make rights of? You've obviously got the usual suspects: Star Trek, Top Gun. I'm trying to think of. This is open to the people in the chat. Paramount films you can make movies out of, rights out
of. I wouldn't know. As you know, I'd have to start Googling Paramount movies. I'd love whoever made Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, and Mean Machine to start making rights.
I mean, those would be brilliant rights.
No, just for the narration and everything.
Paramount films. We're Googling it. We're going to Google which films they've made. We're Googling it. But everyone in chat, put your comments. The Godfather. They could do a Godfather film. Sonic the Hedgehog, which is Titanic, would be an interesting one. There are some good ones. SpongeBob. It's a Universal. Who owns? I don't know. I don't know. But everyone in chat. The start to Cannonball Run is so iconic. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Watch a film with The Rock. It doesn't matter. Hot Fuzz would be a great thing. My brothers, big up Perch. Hopefully you're doing great, enjoying work. Guy Ritchie's Smash Lock Stock, great movie. Yeah, but all I love Guy Ritchie's directing. One of the most underrated films is the Man from. Have you seen that film, The Man from U.N.C.L.E.? You've got to see that. That is so up your street. It's so good, and it's so brilliant. Stargate, 10 Commandments, interesting. Didn't they do the Scream films? They could do the Scream films.
Yeah, that would be a very good one, actually. That's a great shout.
We've got a list of Paramount Love and Monsters. Jackass would be an amazing ride if you did it well.
People are coming out with the good ones here.
Yeah, they are. I'm trying to get a proper chronological list. Where is it? Come on, guys. But these are Paramount's been a lot more, because I know Ghostbusters is a Paramount, and maybe they will do it with Universal, because Universal and Paramount clearly work a lot with each other. But again, that wouldn't be one for you, Brian, because you've still never seen Ghostbusters for some reason.
Yeah. Exactly.
Really, because Ghostbusters is awesome.
I'm sure it is. Listen, I'm not disputing that it's not. I'm not disputing that part one bit.
Yeah. Here we go. We've now got a list from the 60s. I don't think we can do films from the 60s because let's do some. Oh, I don't make a lot. The Godfather is one they need to do. The Godfather, because I love those films. Everyone loves The Godfather, I think.
Yep. Movies I have seen.
Yeah. Hot Fuzz summed up my area in one film. Yes, it did. It absolutely did. I love that. The Cornetto trilogy, as it's called. That movie is so good. It's so funny. I mean, the third one wasn't too brilliant, but it was fun. Come on, here we go. But the only one I can think of is Top Gun. There's going to be a Top Gun ride. Have you seen the new Top Gun film?
I haven't seen the old Top Gun film.
I've not seen it. I skipped it. So, Postman always rings fired twice. Friday the 13th. Interesting. I mean, most people just coming up with bloody horror films in this one. Come on, let's find some modern films made by Paramount. Here we go. Mission Impossible. These seem to be all Rugrats. Mission
Impossible scene. Well, that would be a good movie. I mean, a good ride. Good movie.
Star Trek. The Italian Job they could do. The original Italian, because the second one sucked.
If you say so.
Why they thought they could redo one of the most iconic films ever, I don't understand it. Airplane would be interesting. Never watched it. You've got to see The Godfather. That's your homework for tonight.
My God, you know what? I've taken such a beating on channels for the movies I haven't seen.
You cannot.
For once, I feel like I'm in the right place. I have the audacity and I have the nerve to say, Tom, what the hell are you doing, my friend?
You've got to watch the first two Godfathers, not the third one. The third one sucks. But you've got to watch the first two. That is your homework. When you get home, that's your job. I've just worked out who Ben reminds me of. Coach is played by Colin Farrell in The Gentleman. Great movie, by the way. I've never seen that movie.
I have seen The Gentleman. I actually went to see it the day Kobe Bryant died. A few days before I was coming back here, yeah. So, yeah, it's
not
a good
my
movie.
kind. You've got to see it. It's so good, Tom. It is amazing. It's so good.
It is. It's about 28 hours long, though.
It is, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. What's your favourite one out of the two of them?
Do you know what? I love both. I love both of them. I think they're just brilliant. It took me. I only saw it for the first time with Jerry, so it would have been in the last 10, 11 years. Was being the first times that I've seen it, and they're just brilliant pieces of cinema. They're just honestly, they're brilliant. But like I said, I'm very, very much into the gangster kind of mafia kind of movies like Goodfellas and things like that. Snatch, Lock, Stock, which has got the comedic aspect.
The Untouchables is an epic film as well.
Yeah, but it's like Snatch, I know off by heart. I pretty much know that movie. I used to, sometimes people go to bed and I have to have my tablet on. I have to have my tablet on to fall asleep to. But back in the day when that came out, I had a TV, DVD combined thing in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And every night I went to bed to Snatch. And there's times my dad's walked in and heard me sleep talking Snatch, or when I was doing Only Fools and Horses, he's heard me like word for word recreate episodes of Only Fools and Horses in my sleep. I am obsessed with them.
I could watch
Casino. Proud to be a Geordie is on my wavelength, and I'm bloody fire.
Casino or Goodfellas, great film.
Casino is absolutely unbelievable.
There was one film. Never seen Goodfellas, anything like. I think you've got to see the Godfather just to say you've seen the Godfather. I
think Tom and I need to get together and have a movie night that you can
you do. You do.
Go from Ghostbusters
and the Godfather. The G's. But what's everyone else's favourite movie? We asked this question quite a lot, but we've got a load of new viewers in the chat today. So everyone drop your favourite movies in. It's always fun, and then we can just read them out. I love my Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is great. I love The Hunt for the Red October because I love Sean Connery speaking Scottish but in Russian. It's brilliant. The Day After Tomorrow is one of my favourites. I love The Day After Tomorrow. Once Upon a Time in America is a good film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is excellent. It's not the best Tarantino film, but it's an excellent movie. Chris is saying, been a while since I went to bed with Snatch. But we'll move on from there.
I almost said something. Let's just say it was about neither have I since November. So
favorite movie, Brian? We've probably it is.
Well, no, do you know what? See, there's different movies I have favorites for.
I agree with that.
Another great movie that I absolutely love, and if people haven't watched it, it's incredible. Denzel Washington, Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Is one of the most brilliant movies I've ever seen in my life. And Denzel Washington plays that role on this subject unbelievably well. So that is a great movie. When it comes to, like when you say Disney, I love Aladdin. I fucking love Aladdin.
That's the movie I'm watching later. I need to see that.
Robin Williams, I absolutely idolize him. There's certain movies. There's so many great movies, but Snatch is one of them. Also, you look at it recently. I would say Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's on your wavelength, Brian.
Mate, there you go. You got Bohemian Rhapsody. You got the Elton John movie. I watched the Elvis movie. Those kind of things. They are three brilliant pieces of film. So it's very, very hard for me to pick. I love the Fast and Furious, but I wouldn't say they're my favourites. But especially 5 on the Rock. Funnily enough, seems to make it. But yeah, I would say Snatch and probably Remember the Titans is just like, honestly, if people haven't seen that, Tom, if you haven't seen that, just people just download, watch the trailer on YouTube. Remember the Titans, Denzel Washington.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, great stuff. Not going to lie, growing up, Home Alone 2 has got to be up there. I'm not a fan of those films. I'm not a fan
Home
of
Alone
those.
2 is better than 1. I have to agree with Lee there. Home Alone 2 is better than 1.
You brought up Aladdin. Like the other day, I watched Mulan again, the original one. I love that film. Is epic. It still annoys me. It's one of the reasons I hate them redoing Disney films, because they should never have redone that movie. They had no reason. That movie was only made like 35 years ago, and it's perfect in every way.
Yeah.
They did one of the best films ever without two of the defining parts of that movie, which are the songs and one of the main characters. They did it without Mushu. He was the best character. You can't do it without Eddie Murphy. You couldn't do it. It's like having Lion King without Mufasa. It's like having Stone Cold versus The Rock without The Rock. It's like having.
Yeah.
You can't remove the main parts of films and expect them to be successful films. Like you couldn't do it. Imagine having Snow White without the Seven Dwarfs. Imagine Cinderella without the shoe. You've got to have these parts in. They are the most important things of the movie.
Yep.
Really annoys me. But big up Mushu. Something no one would ever have heard ever. Big up Mushu. But
correct.
We'll watch Aladdin tonight. I love Aladdin.
Aladdin is just honestly Aladdin. I love Big Hero 6, Toy Story, Lion King. You mentioned obviously Lion King. Whenever I think of Lion King, now just reminds me of Simba. God bless him. There's an incredible movie. But yeah, there's been some incredible Disney. There's been some even stuff like Cool Runnings with John Candy.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest classics you ever see. That movie's just brilliant.
Yeah, that's a great one. Proud to be a Geordie. Don't miss the Seven Dwarfs. Jesus. You brought it up. Hi, Derek. Hopefully you're well. Good to see you. Beverly Hills Cop, Bad Boys, Fast and the Furious. I hope you're talking about the original Transformers, because otherwise Kim is going to find out where you live. Because, of course, Kim hates the new Transformers film. Correctly. Planes, Trains and Automobiles, John Candy, great movie. There are so many good movies.
Anything that has John Candy written on it, anything that has Tom Hanks written on it, generally is guaranteed to be brilliant.
Yeah. So, Forrest Gump. How good is Forrest Gump? It's epic.
Do you know what? One of my favorite.
So well.
One of my favorite ones is him. I can't even remember what it's called. The one where he's stuck in the airport.
No, not that one. I was thinking Castaway.
Is it called? I can't remember what it's called. But there's one where he can't leave the departure gate. Or Arrivals. It's just an incredible movie.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
I still have a soft spot for Strange Brew, such a fun and bizarre take on Hamlet. The Terminal.
There you go. That's it. Cheers, Terry, brother.
Big up, Tezza.
That's right. The Terminal. There you go.
The fact they're making a second Gladiator pisses me off.
That's ridiculous.
They should never make a second Gladiator. Why? What's the point?
That is ridiculous.
Why? The first one is perfect.
Do you reckon John Fashanu and Ulrika Johnson will be on it?
Who knows? Who knows? Welshie, big out Welshie, of course. Only Fools in Miami Twice is an amazing film.
No, do you know what? You won't find, or you will find. I am as huge Only Fools and Horses fan as you'll come. The first part of Miami Twice is brilliant. The second part is probably one of my least favourite ever episodes.
But bits of it are amazing.
Oh, mate, listen, David Jason.
It's that when he goes off on the jet ski and he can't stop it.
You know what? When you look at this, and it's quite a morbid thought or anything, but you've seen it when people have died recently, like Tina Turner, blah, 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 when they put the very, 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 very sad day when David Jason departs this world.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in a mess. There's so many people.
He should have a state funeral for how important he is, David Jason.
He is just. You look at Darling Buds and May. You look at Open All Hours. You look at anything this man anything this man puts his name to. There you go. There's an episode, mate. We could speak all day about Only Fools and Horses.
Best show of all time. It's definitely one of them.
For me, I mean, people know I'm a huge EastEnders fan, but and it's my guilty pleasure. But there's certain TV shows I love, Power and all the spin-offs. This Is Us. There's loads of different shows. But Only Fools and Horses is one of those shows. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen it.
It's timeless.
Like still when I know he's going to fall through the bar or the blow up doll, I know it's coming. But I will still piss myself. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what mood you're in. You could be in the most upset, heartbroken, depressed, whatever. That show will always make you smile. That is one of the greatest things that show can offer you. It's brilliant.
David Jason and David Attenborough cannot die. Yeah. I agree. Those two both need a state funeral. Sharp intake of breath. Yeah. I always preferred Dad's Army to Only Fools. That's because I love Dad's Army because my family's always been war film buffs. So I've always loved Dad's Army. It's another one of those things. It's not better, but it's that those two are just on par with each other.
There's one more. Right. There's one more. And it's up there. 40 Towers.
40 Towers as well.
40 Towers.
I put 40 Towers below them. Just below.
I put 40 Towers just below Only Fools.
It's incremental, but it's if it had more seasons, but the fact I like 40 Towers is because they only had 2 seasons.
Exactly.
They knew when to stop. And that's great.
It made, to me, next to Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. The start of the fight scene in Gladiators is awesome. Sound in cinema, wow. Do you know, got a lot of the Germanic tribe noises from the originals. They did it. The chandelier scene was filmed 5 miles from me. I cried when they found watching Only Fools. Yeah, and then they ruined it, unfortunately. One of the best scenes of all time. Blackadder's excellent. I have 3 kids and I've seen all the new Disney films, and Moana deserves a nod for all the new. Moana's excellent.
I have to say as well, where Mark mentioned the chandelier one, with that I've got loads of DVDs about behind the scenes stuff with them, and with that chandelier one, they only had 1 take to do it. Their whole budget went on that chandelier that they smashed, and they're like, if you laugh in this, if you piss yourself and we can't edit it out, we're done. And if you actually watch it back and you watch it slowly, there's a time where they have to look away from each other because they look like they're about to go.
Yeah.
It's just the chandelier one.
It reminds me of sometimes you have to be absolutely the biggest stickers scene from Monty Python, and they're all pissing themselves laughing because they tried to film it so many times, but it was so funny they just couldn't stop laughing, so they left it as part. It's just that is stuff. When you're just a genius comedian and you can't stop laughing, that's how funny a joke is.
Yep.
Excellent. Open All Hours is an underrated show. It is. It's excellent. Mr. Bean, because everyone keeps on telling Graham he looks like Mr. Bean. I don't think so, sir.
What the fuck? How?
But I love Mr. Bean. 12 Monkeys is a sneaky good one. Shutter Island and some others. Chandelier scene is based on a true story.
It is from Dan Sullivan's dad.
Yeah. Montecute House, the chandelier scene, apparently, yeah. But I don't know if you've had the pleasure of watching Dad's Army, Brian. Dad's Army is excellent. Don't Tell Him Pike, Asleep in the Deep when they're all stuck in that room.
You know a show I did grow up with as well. There's another show that has to come in, and the fact that we spoke about, I mentioned Open All Hours with David Jason, and I think Tyree just brought it, or someone brought it up as well about. I was proud to be a Geordie. You cannot. I grew up because my grandma loved them and I watched them. You cannot. When you talk about comedic duos, I don't think you can find a better comedic duo. I don't think you can find a better comedic duo still to this day than the 2 Ronnies.
Yeah,
I don't think you can. I think a lot of the comedy from this country and whatever is through what those 2 were. Them two separate were cry laughter. Yeah. Them 2 together was fall off the floor, roll around, ribs hurt, crying laughter. Some of their scenes, like the one they did where the mastermind, where he answers the question from before, so he's always behind. They're genius. They're genius. the two
Well,
Ronnies.
Ronnie Corbett was excellent. Like the scene with Harry Enfield and the bloody
Blackberry.
My Blackberry, and you could just see them just laughing their faces off, and they try not to laugh. I don't know where to put my dongle. You can just see he's dying inside.
Yeah.
Always great. My brother-in-law really does look like Mr. Bean. I've seen Shutter Island a load of times and still can't understand it. Okay. I love the Sweeney. I love the big Granada cars. They only had 4 seasons, not to mention the funny season, but I had to mention it. The Granada's great. My dad used to have a Ford Granada back in the day. Steptoe and Son is excellent. The Steptoe and Son scene where they're doing Scrabble and he's deliberately doing really rude words. And he's like saying, why can't you do a bit like B-U-M, bum? And he's winning because he can't do any words, but he's doing all the rude ones. And he's trying to do it properly. Hello, David. Lovely to see you.
David.
It's a movie like some psychological thriller, mystery type. Birds of a Feather. Did you ever watch Midnight Sweetheart? No, I haven't seen that.
Yes, I did, with Nicholas Lyndhurst.
Yeah. No, Laurel and Hardy, best and always. They're good. I do prefer the two Ronnies.
Yeah, same here.
The two Ronnies. First time I saw Clockwork Orange. Interesting. 1 Foot in a Grave is a yes.
Oh.
My brother is Victor Meldrew. My brother is the total. He is when he loses his temper. It's uncanny. My favourite one is when he has the dog phone and he's 14 and it's a dog.
My funniest one, I don't know if Tyree will probably remember saying that he's. Do you remember the one where he gets given that scorpion thing and he meant to bring bad luck on everyone that holds onto it? Oh, that episode. I mean, it opens up where he just opens the door with the Jehovah's Witnesses and they go, good morning, and he just goes, goodbye, and slams the door in their face. That one with the scorpion bad luck charm is the greatest.
Or the one where they fix his car and it's got the tape recording of all the mechanics singing about how much they hate him.
Yeah. I mean, he just plays it brilliantly. He was
deadpan.
Oh, he was brilliant. Richard Wilson was brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. My parents used to listen to LPs of a bit of naughty comic called Jimmy Jones. I used to creep in and listen. Great stuff. Was watching Buster Keaton stunts the other day. He was nuts. Yeah, he's nuts. Yeah. Oh, so many good films. So many good. Have the biggest sticker scene is outrageous. It's absolutely fantastic. 40 Towers is the greatest. Basil and Manuel just hilarious. They are so good.
They were brilliant. I mean, there are so many. I mean, my favorite episode of 40 Towers. A lot of people will think you say the Germans or whatever, but it's the one with Mrs. Richards.
Yes, it is.
He talks about the hotel, but I paid for a sea view.
Yeah,
and he just goes on one of his rants that just literally.
Would you prefer to have a room by the sea or in it?
Yeah, what do you expect to see out of a Torquay hotel bedroom window? Sydney Opera House, perhaps. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Herds of wildebeest sweeping majestic. That is the best episode of 40 Towers. It's brilliant.
There's also the Lord Mulberry episode where he's going out of his way.
40 Towers is right up there.
It's so good. Let's go for a couple of comments. Keeping Up Appearances.
My grandma's favourite. My grandma, bless her.
Seen him a few times. A bit dated now. My mate saw him in Portugal just on holiday and stayed at the same hotel. Is this a hotel or isn't it? Yeah. Hello, Nathan. There's loads of new viewers today, so thank you to all the new viewers. Keeping Up the Appearances with class. Young Ones, bottom anything with Rick and Aid in it. Yeah. I'd love to be talking about this all day, but unfortunately our hour is up. Before we go, it's the birthday girl. Yep. Happy birthday, Sophie.
Many happy returns.
Hopefully you're having a wonderful day, miss. Afternoon, O'Brien has come to the UK and has grown his hair and beard. I hope.
My parents are going on holiday tomorrow, so this is going.
Yeah.
This will be going as well. So I'm going to be changing that immediately.
Don't mention the war. Yeah. Manuel, please try and understand before one of us dies. Yes. So everyone on the way out, please say happy birthday to Sophie. Alfie is a pet, but I'm biased with that. Brian, what are we doing later on Tottenham on Tour?
Okay, so yeah, we've taken a bit of a hiatus for a couple of weeks, and we've needed to. Tottenham on Tour, and people that have watched us, or new people in the channel who haven't watched us and may start watching us, our channel not only talking about Tottenham Hotspur and whatever it may be, about the board, the owners, the managers, whatever. One of the things we pride ourselves on is mental health and spreading awareness. And we've done a few mental health specials and raised money for charity. And we're doing one this afternoon. Ben, Vancouver, and myself, maybe one other person, are going to be recording a big mental health update thing. We always speak openly about it on this channel. People will know that I still battle with mental health. I battle with addiction problems, which I am beating. But there's been certain things that have happened recently that need to be addressed. Starting with why I'm here in this country, and a couple of other things. But one of the subjects we're going to be talking about is obviously an elephant in the room that people have been talking about someone that ripped the heart out of this community. But we will not be talking about him. We will not be talking about what he has done. We will be talking about the impact it's had on various people within this community, what kind of impact it's had with people calling out people, thinking. So it's going to be a very emotional recording. I'm doing it with Ben, who I would not have done it without. Kauffie will be joining us, and like I said, one other. And mental health is something that we take very, very seriously at Tottenham on Tour. So it's going to be pre-recorded out later on today, and then as of that day, Tottenham on Tour are going to be back on a daily or bi-daily basis. Ben and I might sneak in a quick cheeky review after we've done the mental health one. But yeah, we'll be back, people. So big stuff coming from us, and we'll be back like we were before. And apologies for the absence, but I've had to take some time out and reevaluate a lot of things.
Great stuff, Brian. Great stuff. So we will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time for another edition of the Coffee Company. We might have some guests on. Who knows? If Brian's available, I might get Brian on again. We like to have a chat. We always have wonderful chats. That's why we're part of the same channel. But I've been the Cough. I live my life with a smile on my face and a Gibson on my back. And as always, Brian.
And as always, Levy out.
And if you smell what the Cough is brewing, thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you soon. Ciao for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, wear a hat, sometimes play chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score.